to Let's Chat, the Tennessee Valley's premier show focusing on lifestyle and entertainment, bringing you smart shopping tips, community events, and the newest trends. Now, let's chat.
And that is how you begin a broadcast segment. Denny JIOSA. Wow, Denny, so good to see you again. Thank you for sticking around, spending the night, and enjoying some time here in Chattanooga. If you're not familiar with Denny JIOSA's music, you ought to be. He has performed, recorded with folks like Kirk Whalum, Yolanda Adams, Take Six, Crystal Gale. Everybody's heard of Crystal Gale. Steve Winwood, one of my personal music heroes.
Wow, yeah.
Tell me what it was like working with Steve Winwood.
I wasn't really working with him, Chip. It was great. They hired my group to play for his birthday party. And yeah, this is true. And Steve came up and we jammed on 3 songs and traded licks and played Gimme Some Lovin', and it was just like,
wow.
It was cool as heck.
And I know that you and I are close to the same age. You having the opportunity to jam with Steve Winwood, that had to have gone up there in the list of all-time really cool moments.
It was. It absolutely was, yeah.
All-time really cool moments.
I loaned him my Les Paul.
You brought this guitar in, which is made by Willow Creek, and this is a new endorsement deal that you have just that you have come across. And I wanted to show the neck of the guitar where it says JIOSA 007.
Yeah.
Tell me about this guitar. Give me the 30-second executive synopsis on it, other than the fact it's a beauty.
Handmade Bolivian rosewood, effects built in with a preamp, and a microphone, a condenser microphone built in also. So for live performance, it's just, it's just wonderful. So.
Wow. And that sounds like 100 guitars at once.
It does, doesn't it?
And I mean that in a very positive way.
Yeah,
that is just such a magnificent instrument. How long have you been playing?
I started, when I was 6 years old, I went to my mother and said, I want to put a band together.
Right.
If you can believe that. So at 7, I started playing guitar.
At 7?
So about 12 years now.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Was there the aha moment that went off in your head when you thought, I can make a living doing this?
There was, I had that fear factor when as I got older and graduated high school, and thought, what am I going to do? And I thought about going into TV like this, because I love engineering and production.
Right.
And I went to school for a couple of years and just went, I want to play music. That's what I feel like I should do. And so I went on the road and toured and played with Danny and the Juniors and the Coasters and the Belmonts and Bo Diddley and all these people I did shows with. So.
And you also did a show with one of my other musical heroes, B.B. King. Actually, he gave you some very important musical advice.
He did. I actually worked with B.B. in Lake Tahoe at Harris Casino and met him on the day that John Lennon was killed. And he said, stay with it, young man. He said, just be careful out there and stay with it. And he signed it. And so on this blues record, I'm going to have a song called Stay With It, dedicated to him.
And you have stayed with it.
I have stayed with
it. Which
it.
is incredible. A lot of folks don't know that, but basically the history of the guitar goes back to Spain. Spain, of course, produces some of the world's most incredible wines. You are also not just a guitar aficionado, you are a wine aficionado. How do those two go hand in hand, or do they?
Well, of course they do. I look at wine as a musical thing, And
how so? Give me an example.
Well, because of the descriptives of wine. When you taste a wine, there's different. It affects people differently. Wine brings family together around a meal. Some of the vines are hundreds of years old that are producing these grapes that you're drinking. Yeah.
Someone sent me an email a while back that said, when you're teaching music, you're not just teaching notes and chords. You're teaching math. You're teaching history, you're teaching emotions, you're teaching psychology, you're teaching a whole lot.
Very well said, yeah.
If folks are out there and they're wondering about performing music for a living, if they're seriously considering dedicating a part of their lives to picking up an instrument like this, an instrument like that, or another instrument, what advice would you give them?
to just stay true to your heart, your soul, and the music that you love. Like I stayed with jazz. I loved jazz from the time I was 12 years old when I discovered it. I was like, wow, I love this music. Okay, I haven't made a fortune in my life, but I've done okay, you know, and I've got to do the music that moves me, that I love. It's in me.
And you're going to be doing all of this over in McMINNVILLE coming up here towards the end of. Go ahead, I'm going to throw that away and that away and that away too. It's coming up on Friday, June 25th in McMINNVILLE. There's going to be a lot of food, a lot of great entertainment, and you're going to be the guy there, the headliner for that.
Downtown.
If folks want to find out more about the Denny GIOSA wine selections, the Denny GIOSA guitars, and this beautiful, beautiful Willow Creek GIOSA 007, tell us your website.
It's just JIOSA.com, GIOSA.com.
And that is pronounced GIOSA.
GIOSA.
JIOSA.com.
Yeah.
Denny, so good to see you again. We hope you will come back before the big festival in McMINNVILLE. Play us into a commercial break. Anything you want.
How about we do, let's just do that big sound you love so much.